Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to be talking about Hyperliquid's growth, flipping Coinbase in notional volume. We're going to talk about Polymarket's new partnership with Kaito announced this morning, and we're going to talk about MegaETH's mainnet launch yesterday. Thank you all for joining us day after day. If you're listening over on Twitter, on X, give us a like, bookmark, comment, retweet, help push us out there in the algorithm. If you're listening over on YouTube, drop a comment. Let us know what you want to talk about today. And if you're listening on Zora, where we stream each and every day, drop a comment. We'll be reading those as well. I'm joined here today by Easy. Easy, prices are chopping. How have you been feeling? How you living?
I'm good, Ray. Life's good. How are you, Ray?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
How's the ankle, Ray?
Ankle's good. I've got a nice boot on it right now.
What's it look like, Ray?
I was pretty here it is. You see?
Let's see the boot, Ray.
There it is.
Look at that boot. Oh man, kid.
Yeah. Boot.
That's a boot.
Yeah, we got a boot there. Feels good. I was pretty sure it had to be amputated on Sunday night. That's how much pain I was in. And
wow, what happened? You fell down the stairs?
Yeah, I missed the last. I was carrying my daughter down the stairs. Like, just woke up from a nap with her. We were going down last stair, missed it. Like, turned to like make sure she wouldn't fall, and then landed on my ankle. Like, pretty sure I heard like a snap or a pop, and I was in like the most pain I've been in my life.
Did it swell?
Yeah, it was huge. It was like gigantic. I was like, oh, this is broken. So next morning, X-rays negative, sprain. My body is Wolverine-like, healing at an insane rate right now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing a marathon, doing some downhill skiing tomorrow, I imagine.
Oh, and some Lindsey Vonns type stuff, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I'm feeling good. All's good. Just taking some Advil, keeping it elevated, icing it. This boot does a nice little pressure therapy as well. So I'm feeling good. I'm ready to lock in. No better time to be immobile than in a choppy crypto market, right? What have you been up to? I didn't get to play around too much yesterday. MegaETH launched yesterday, but I've seen like more.
Did it actually launch?
Yeah, mainnet launched yesterday. I did like a little bit of stuff. I bridged. I deposited on some yield farming protocol.
Interesting.
That's about it.
I did not even look at MegaETH yesterday. Did their token go live?
No. So their token, it's KPI based. I don't know if you guys talked about it at all yesterday.
A little bit, but I didn't really understand it. Can you explain it to me?
Yeah. So essentially what they did is they laid out like a number of different KPIs for their token to launch, and it needs to hit at least one of these for the token to launch. I think there's like a 30-day like launch warm up once it does. I'm pulling up the KPIs now so we can get a good look at them so I don't say the wrong thing. Yeah, so they either need to hit 500 million TVL for their stablecoin USDM, which is the native stablecoin that they're launching, or they need to hit 5 or 10 Mega Mafia apps that are fully deployed, which involves like some amount of like unique transactions and wallets using them, or they need to have 3 apps hitting $50,000 daily fee average over 30 days. So essentially just markers that like prove that there's activity on the chain and that the chain is at least like somewhat viable. And once one of those gets hit, the token will launch like 30 days following. And
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that like, hey, it proves there's a use case for the chain. They're not just launching a token into a chain that's just a ghost chain. On the other hand, if you're like an investor, like your lockup isn't starting until TGE, so that's tough too. So people who invested in November, if it doesn't TGE until November of this year, then you have a whole nother year of lockup before you can access your token. So
yeah, I feel like they're just changing rules. This doesn't feel like a good way to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not really. It's instead of just announcing a date for a TGE, they're just making it metric based. So like, I mean, I guess theoretically, like they could say it's a down market. We're not going to launch a token either way until it turns around. This could be a path that it might happen sooner than they anticipate, if that makes sense. I mean, you look
I don't know if I like this.
Well, you look at something like Abstract. Like you don't know when the Abstract token's going to launch.
Yeah,
Abstract said last year, hey, if we hit these metrics, we're going to launch a token, and they hit it. They
That's
would have
fair.
launched. So, yeah, but yeah, I mean, definitely could end up being bad. I mean, it could be a longer lockup for people who are involved. But we'll see. I need to play around with it more. I need to look at the metrics. I think they have a dashboard of like the metrics where you can see like how close they are to hitting each of those. But I just haven't had the time to really dive deep into it. That's all my docket of things to check out. What have you been looking at?
Yeah. Well, that's gonna do it for today's episode.
Did you see? Actually, you know what? How about we do a weather report and then we'll talk about some of these stories because there are a couple things I want to talk about this morning that have popped up and cropped up here. Play a little
Okay.
over there.
Let's do the thing, Ray. Today is February 10th, Tuesday. The majors chopped on the day with Bitcoin just under 69,000 United States dollars, Ethereum at 2K, Solana at 84, and Hyperliquid back under $84. Talk about a tough time there. My goodness. Artemis. Who the hell's Artemis? Released data showing Hyperliquid's notional volume is almost 2x that of Coinbase. This comes as Hyperliquid's token price has outpaced Coinbase's equity by over 50% over the past 2 weeks. Coinbase earnings are coming up, and Polymarket's pricing an 80% chance that they beat earnings. Next up, crypto Twitter is up in arms as Discord announced it will require biometric face scan and ID verification as soon as next month. So much for being undoxed. This comes as an attempt to improve teen safety on their platform. Weird that this is coming after the Epstein files have released. Finally, SBF spoke out as he is yet again lobbying for a pardon. He argued that the Joe Biden administration threw bogus charges at him and claimed FTX was never bankrupt. So now Sam Bankman-Fried is just spewing bullshit. You gotta love it. Back to you in the studio, Ray.
Excellent weather report as always. SBF saying lawyers took over the company 4 hours later. They filed for a bogus bankruptcy so they could pilfer it for money. He had some banger investments in that portfolio. I'd be so mad if I were him. I'd be so mad.
Dude, he was like early to Anthropic, Robinhood. Like this guy had so much money invested in stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah. You said who is Artemis? Artemis does analytics. The one analytic that they do frequently that you see is like the chain flow.
Oh, okay.
Chain flow on Artemis.
Yep.
Like cumulative chain flow or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, they were released a report basically saying that Hyperliquid $2.6 trillion in trading volume, notional trading volume. That's almost 2 times Coinbase's 1.4 trillion. Year to date, Hyperliquid's up 31% in terms of token price. Coinbase equity down 27%. So we're kind of seeing that trading volume like show up in the charts. Looking at Robinhood, that's a 4.6 trillion of notional trading volume. So Hyperliquid is like, you know, pretty high up there in terms of their actual volume, which is interesting as we see it pulling back a bit here. We had that very high run up. I think we got up as high as like almost $40 on Hype during this rally. Back down to $30. Any interest in Hyperliquid here, the token on a pullback easy?
Probably. Probably.
What's your mindset right now for like macro where we are in the cycle?
Survive.
We had this really bad pullback. People are saying bottom, but after a brief recovery, we've kind of stalled out in this like 70K range.
Yeah, I don't know if we're at a bottom. It'd be sick, but I think we go lower.
I think we hit this 50K level. I think we do something similar to what happened last cycle where we're like here. We're in this like Meta July area. One final draw down to the bottom, then chop accumulation before slow grind up again. So I think we see something similar chop for a little bit, down, hit this bottom at 50, and then back up.
That would be nice. I mean, yeah, I'm just kind of indifferent. Like, is that bad? I'm just kind of like, let's just survive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I'm not going leverage long on majors right now. I'm looking for opportunities that are new, are emerging. I think there's interesting stuff in the AI space. I think there's interesting stuff with these new chains like MegaETH. I kind of want to jump into early chains. There's generally some opportunity to make some money. So taking a look at that sort of thing, seeing what kind of opportunities are there. I think we're going to see a ton of new things launching this year. And I think the people are going to be able to get to market faster with ideas because of the acceleration of AI. And speaking of which, Banker, we've been talking about this coin on the show for a while. This one made a nice move.
Doing really well. 107 mil.
Yeah, hit all-time highs earlier today, up 38% on the day. We basically were saying, over the last couple of weeks, this is your like aggregate bet on this like book OpenClaw AI meta. They're all launching on EVM and they're all using Banker to create tokens.
Yeah, that's why it's like, I don't know. I've talked about Banker a couple times. I like Banker. I think it's undervalued.
Yeah, I think they just released, I haven't looked into it. I think they just released a new type of launch or a new fee structure. Need to dive into it a bit more. It's called Banker Token Launcher. Here it is on X right now. All new tokens launched through Banker now earn more fees for agents. We removed the third-party service fee and redirected it back to the ecosystem, which just means devs earn 14% more per swap. More revenue flows back to Banker ecosystem. Total swap fees stay at 1.2%. Nothing changes for traders. Existing tokens won't be migrated. Banker now owns the full token launch stack. Step one more soon. So it sounds like they're pushing their fee back to the devs. So trading fees stay the same at 1%, and devs now earn more per swap. So it's incentivizing people to launch on Banker.
That's very interesting because they wanted to build the whole stack, and they come out saying that they were going to.
Yep. Banker LLM keys coming soon. One line change: fees your agent earns from trading automatically fund API costs. Devs, you'll be able to plug this context into your OpenClaw. So start brainstorming what your agent can do once it understands its own cost of survival. I like the people talking about like the make my agent work for its power or pay its way. Like like the agents are all of a sudden gonna be like, oh shoot, I've got to pay my way. Well, I'm gonna become a money printer for you now. It's like it's not really how this works, but I think it's a funny narrative. So we'll see how that goes. Banker looking strong. Last week chatted last week. I mean, it's been a while since we talked, since I wasn't on yesterday. You're still trading some meme coins. Are you still in the trenches there, or is it slowed down a bit?
Yeah, I'm still trading, just not as aggressively. Obviously, with crypto prices selling off, a lot of that stuff kind of flows. So you need chop to really be like, this is good. This is good. But that's the situation we're kind of in, is like, okay.
What are giraffes?
Uh-huh.
So what are giraffes? Is this a scam?
No.
So we're still having like random $3 million runners.
Yeah. The giraffes can't get away from weather. So it's a picture that went viral of like giraffes stuck in the rain.
2.9 million. What about the Nietzschean bear? The Nietzschean bear.
Well, I'm not like concerned about that one. That's a scam.
This looks like a scam.
That's a scam. Not a single downward price action.
Yeah, you can tell a honeypot there. Yeah, I'm just looking over the trending list on Dex Screener, and when I see like the top one being a Soul meme coin that's 3 million, lets me know there's like still a little bit of juice. War, I've seen this one around for a bit. This is just a random USD1 pair that is now at $35 million market cap. Were you in this one at all? This is just up and to the right.
War? No, this seems like some like bonk style cabal thing.
Yeah. I mean, this thing's been just moving up and to the right since it launched January 21st. So we are seeing like a number of runners, a number of sustained runners. We're seeing coins launching in the same day going to millions of market cap. So I'm seeing like a little bit of life in the trenches right now. But I feel like just like Like vibe wise, like I'm just not seeing as many people like locked in and like trading. I want to go to Adam's Dune dashboard and take a look at the pump wallets to see if we peak. Like I imagine I'm gonna look at this, I'm gonna see like a peak. We look at Memecoin Wars. This is the one.
Yep. The Atom TEHC. It's still not bad.
Nah, I'm looking at total daily tokens deployed is yesterday was big day, highest day since Thursday of last week. I mean, we saw basically local highs end of January. We've pulled back a little bit, but still much more than we were seeing end of the year last year, November, October.
Yep.
I want to go look at wallets. Launchpad volume is still good. I mean, it's trending down though. Like, yeah, you can see, you can almost feel a little bit of it. Like, there's not the excitement of meme coins yet. Okay, active addresses also still decent, but also again trending down since the kind of blow off top we had January. So it's a matter of like, do we leg up again? Do we chop here? What happens in the meme coin space? And this is all on Solana. I do want to
Like I said, I mean, I want to see base. I'm interested in because there's been some attractive moves on base.
Yeah, I really want to look at like the base, some sort of base dashboard. Let me see if anyone has one, that'd be great. If you're listening right now on YouTube, set a dashboard. If you're on X, set a dashboard. I'm bringing up bankers volume right now in terms of trade volume. Let's see what we have here. So these all seem, I don't know. These look like, I'm not seeing much data here. Like this is like kind of all over the place. There's no real trend on this. I don't know if this data is good or not. I've never used this dashboard before, so I'm gonna see if I can find a better one to use. But until then, I'll have to figure something out here. Because I basically have seen like on X, the timeline, people posting like banker has been like kind of going parabolic, but these Dune dashboards that I'm pulling up just aren't showing out the same thing. So we'll have to see. If you do have a good banker or a base dashboard, share that, and we'll take a peek at that next. So meme coins, you're still trading some meme coins. It's slowed down a little bit. We're seeing most of that move over to base with banker for outsized opportunities. How about Polymarket? I saw you hit some winners in the Bodalgo's Discord for the whales.
Mostly like bonds there. Like just finding some stuff that I'm like, this feels like a pretty straightforward win on some of those, which that felt good. Yeah, it's been, I mean, I got smoked on the Cardi B dancing thing, which I was pissed about.
God. Did you crash out yesterday? I haven't watched yesterday's show, but I saw you crashing out on the timeline.
We didn't even talk about it. I was just so pissed. I was like, this is such fuck. Because I saw her on screen. It was like, holy shit, did I just fucking lose? And then the odds went to my favor, and I should have exited, but I didn't. I held like a fucking idiot. And then the argument came out that because she was dancing, dancing is a performance. So that counts. And obviously it sided that way. So like you can literally see it rips, falls off a cliff, could have net profit, didn't. And then it just giga sent. And then you saw Carol G also giga sent because she was dancing. There was a couple other markets. This guy Rau, R-A-U-W. People thought he was there. So I realized he wasn't and took the no. It was like, he's not there. So I ended up making some of it back. So it wasn't like all bad, but I was just so mad, dude. I was so mad. I was like, this is absolute freaking horse shit.
I was following this. Yeah, it went up to like 56% chance yes when it saw her, and then it went down to like, all right, no, she didn't do anything. She was just dancing. 17%, and then you didn't sell it to 17%.
Yeah,
and then
there was trades at 2 cents, 3 cents, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
It still hasn't resolved. This one's been disputed twice. There's a final review coming. Interesting. Per market rules, if the named individuals performs live and in person during the halftime show, the market resolved yes. The qualifying performance includes participation in the halftime show without singing, so long as the aforementioned criteria are met. It's so odd. Whatever the aforementioned criteria are. It's really funny that the comments for this, like people are just like going at it. It's just like crash out on both sides. Yeah, so that's a tough one. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, is it the spirit of the market, or is it the market? Like, I think you can argue it either way. I think it'll probably resolve to yes, but
Absolute horseshit. I was so mad.
are you in anything now? We're
I'm
like
on a
looking at your
dispute
Netflix.
market at like 0.4 cents. That's probably gonna lose. It's like $30-$40. I don't really care. I just like threw some money at it because I saw a couple UMA guys on one side. So I was like,
Wow.
I'm just gonna take a flyer on it. It's like, will the US strike Somalia? I don't know. I just saw it. Like I said, I'm like, I'm working on something to try to find more expiring markets because that's what I'm like really interested in.
Is it this
I want
next
stuff that's like
biggest thing?
ending soon, where I can just like consistently take 5% over and over and over every day or something. Because I'm like, that becomes way more interesting if you can find odds at 95 cents that should be more or less done.
Right.
And
We
I mean,
had
there's
that
so
talk.
many markets.
What was it? Was Betmoar, right?
Yeah, but
Betmoar.fun.
even that doesn't really give like the right stuff. Like, there's a lot of markets that are like, if you look on Betmore and you go into like their calendar, which is like where you should be seeing stuff, that's the one to me that I'm like, this theoretically should help us find stuff in here. It has 11 markets today. If you open it up, inflation, price of a dozen eggs, TSA passengers, but it's missing stuff like weather markets, which are every single day. It's missing stuff like war markets, which are like, will this strike happen by a certain date? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. There's an UMA tab too, huh? So you can
Yeah.
see disputes. Any money to make on disputes?
Some. I mean, it's largely just which side is the person on? Which side is the Uma whales on? Yeah, like Raul Alejandro was not there. Wow, president at Super Bowl. I didn't even know that that was a market. I want to take a look at that one. But yeah, some of this stuff's interesting. Like I'd be very interested in like going down the rabbit hole to see some of this stuff.
I just looked over at Netflix. It looks like everything's pretty much decided here on the Netflix market.
Yeah,
Top
Lucy
show,
Letby winning movie, Bridgerton winning show, both.
Lincoln Lawyer at number 2. What happened to the rip? Just fell off.
Fell off hard. Fell off hard.
I wonder if they hit their metric and then they just said, we're good.
Yeah, well, the number 2 movie is probably going to be Dave and Somebody Find Wedding Dates.
Isn't that is that a sequel?
That's
What's his name? The is that US
James
movie?
Franco, Dave Franco, something.
Yeah.
I forget who it was.
Fun fact: Aubrey Plaza, I think, is in that or was in the first one. She went to high school near me. So my buddies went to high school with her.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Global movie number 2.
I would just take the no on basically everything. No, the rip will be global, probably. But the US, I think it's no on a lot of these. Granted, there's not great fills. That's the thing. There's just not great liquidity on some of them.
Yeah. The rip at number 2 for global movie. Interesting. Anything else that's been catching your eye on Polymarket? We had this Kaito news this morning I wanted to talk about. I didn't really see anything outside of the announcement.
What is the Kaito stuff?
Let's dive into it. Let's do a little on-air research here. It looks like a Forbes article, Polymarket to offer attention markets in partnership with Kaito AI. So a Forbes article, it's gonna be paywalled, I believe. So I'm not gonna be able to like dive in. I get a little bit of it here. Allow users to bet on popularity and public opinion of trends, brands, and people. Prediction markets, which says it processed more than 3 billion in trading volume in January alone, expanding to attention markets. They will quantify the volume and changes in public intention based on data from social media, pulling data across platforms including X, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So I thought Kaito got shut down in terms of their Twitter API for this sort of integration, but maybe this, since it's not like necessarily like quote unquote InfoFi, it's more like Mindshare directly tied into Kaito, it makes sense. I'm not sure how that works though. So they're still measuring mindshare. So they did have some pilot products last year. How high will Polymarket's mindshare go? Crypto Twitter mindshare. Interesting. Polymarket's crypto leads at the company plans on rolling out dozens of attention markets starting early March and hundreds by the end of the year. First markets will be on AI-related topics before expanding to entertainment and world events. So it seems like it's a new category of market that's going to be coming to Polymarket. It's not out yet. Right now, it's trying to figure out how these markets are going to resolve, educate users on what mindshare and sentiment mean, how the metrics are tracked. So this is tough because like it feels like this is like very black box, right? Like if you're betting on these markets, it's just resolving to Polymarket or Kaito's algorithm. Like I don't know how much
that's the thing I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like I said, I thought Kaito like shut down.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what's going on here. Mert's the first reply on Twitter saying this will fully rape X, by the way, Nikita Beer.
Tags him. That's wicked funny. That's really funny.
Yeah. Looking over at Kaito's side of it, so let's see what they're saying over on X. We're taking the next step in attention markets, built in partnership with Polymarket. Built directly on our main site with a standalone site coming. We're going to be opening up ways to predict attention throughout various arenas, starting with crypto and expanding out in AI finance, etc. Rolling it out in stages. More details to be coming soon. Yeah, I mean, Kaito's been like notoriously black box about what mindshare is and how they track it. Like, is this something that like influencers are going to have outsized effect on? Like you tweeting on the timeline about a topic that you're trading on Polymarket feels like it could affect the sentiment of that market.
And just being able to like pump it.
Yeah, that's weird. Very, very odd. So we'll have to follow this one. This one's going to be interesting for sure. Let's see what's up next. I do want to go over to MegaETH briefly. I have their launch announcement here and their dashboard. They launched yesterday and they introduced what is called the Rabbithole. It's basically your ecosystem front end available to the public. So if you go to their X account, they have this kind of post, different categories of apps, what they offer, and then a link to the Rabbithole as what they call it. Essentially, one-stop shop where you can bridge and go to like other apps. Turn that off. They have like a little search bar where you can like type stuff like I want to launch a token. It tells you where to go. They have the different apps. They have the bridge. In terms of what apps are active and busy right now, I think I've seen people talking about Kumbaya. This is the token launchpad for MegaETH, the pump fund of MegaETH, etc. So we're seeing activity trend here. You can see what's trending. You can see graduate. Of course, some choice meme coins already launching immediately.
Like not surprised at all.
Yeah. So this is your DGen platform on MegaETH, Kumbaya. It's called. Some questionable meme coins already launching. We'll see how this does. Other apps on the platform, I deposited into a lending app on here that I saw people were talking about, basically earning points, earning yield on USDM, just basically testing out what's on the platform. I think it was Supernova. Maybe not. I'll have to take a look at it. But basically just testing out the different protocols, seeing what works, just getting semi-familiar so that when I do dive a bit deeper, I kind of have an idea of what's going on the chain. Yeah, it was Avon actually. So this MegaVault bootstrapping program deposited USDM. Basically anything that doesn't have a token, which is most things on MegaETH right now, just at least playing with a little bit, putting a little bit of volume, getting a little bit of activity in case of future airdrops. It's like the normal playbook I'll follow for a new chain, especially on the DeFi side. As DeFi things tend to get traction. If you look at things like Hyperliquid, you had Kinetic, which did pretty well and had a pretty healthy airdrop over there. You have things that people are still farming like Unit, etc. So DeFi protocols on a new chain, I'm always very quick to get into, play around a little bit, and kind of move on, day one. All right, so that's the MegaETH coverage. You can check that out more. Go to their page, get into the rabbit
Why does
hole.
their portal kind of resemble like the abstract one? Like, I feel like everyone just has this like central portal to just find stuff. Like, we never saw that for a lot of other stuff.
I think it helps. I think it just helps discovery because I think right now, like you almost have to tell users what to do. Like people are, I don't know, people are more lazy, but I think having one place where you can say like it acts as both marketing and kind of like a guide for just new users, like one-stop shop. Yeah, we don't have that as much on Ethereum or Solana. It's more decentralized. Apps push themselves. I think MegaETH is tied closer to the ecosystem. I think that's what you need to do as a new chain too, because for any chain to be successful, you have to have things people want to do on your chain. So,
Yeah.
success of dApps is extremely important in success of the chain. So naturally, chains would want to be incentivized to push distribution. I think that's basically what they do with these like homepages. I'm going to go through some quick hitters. You can get all these each and every day from our newsletter, dailybones.com, to sign up. First up, Goldman Sachs warned that the market sell-off is not quite over yet. Farcaster founder Dan Romero, who left Farcaster recently, has now joined Stripe's Tempo blockchain team. 6 were arrested in connection with the some French cryptocurrency kidnappings. CME Group announced the Cardano Chainlink and Stellar futures going live. Bitmine bought more Ethereum, now holds over 3.5% of the supply. A hoodie CryptoPunk sold for 144 ETH. A 1-week flip for the seller who made 5 figures on the sale. Ledger integrated the OKX DEX directly into their wallet. Jump is taking a stake position in both Kalshi and Polymarket as they provide liquidity. Vitalik called for Ethereum to lead the charge for AI. This comes as the Ethereum Foundation is eyeing integrating ZK proofs on their execution layer. Some news came out of Backpack as they released distribution plans. They talked about what their TGE looks like, and they are also looking to raise $50 million at a $1 billion valuation. Banker, we talked about earlier, crossed 100 million market cap, and Zeet is getting ready to launch creator capital markets tomorrow. Don't know what that is, but it sounds provocative. Let's talk about Backpack. Easy, you've been somebody who's been familiar with Solana for a while. Backpack has been basically building on Solana since the beginning, right? With Mad Lads.
Yeah, they've been working on this for a while. I mean, I think they said they did like $100 million of volume last month, something like that. Something pretty crazy.
Did you take a look at any of this TGE news? Did you see any of this token distribution plan or the raise? Do you have any thoughts?
I saw it. Mad Lads get 1%. That feels a little bit low, right? Points get 24%. Points are from using the platform, which seems decent. I don't really know many people who have used the platform though. Do you?
I imagine there's a pretty big Venn diagram of Mad Lads and users. So hopefully the Mad Lads that are just sitting there holding Mad Lads, they've also used the platform extensively. I know a lot of like people on the timeline, a lot of InfoFi people I've seen who rep Mad Lad PFPs also shill Backpack constantly. I've never used it personally. They basically have their own wallet, exchange, etc., and people use it. I don't know. I just never saw the value prop or never needed to go somewhere outside of Trading Bot, Jupiter, Meteora, Project X for swapping. I just haven't been pulled towards Backpack.
Yeah, I'd love to
But yeah,
check it out more and see like total users and stuff because I feel like those that are using it probably are doing pretty well.
I mean, 24% is a big chunk.
Yeah, that's a good portion of the token.
Let's see if I can find something on Dune here. Maybe get a little better view here. All right. So exchange trade volume, pretty high back in early 2024, probably when they launched. Fell off a cliff and was living basically at zero for years. And then starting last year began to pick up, peaked at a Pico top in April of last year, and has kind of been just on a steady grind up in terms of volume, doing daily volume in the 8-figure range at a minimum. The last local top, $80 million of daily volume on the 27th of May from last year.
It's pretty damn good.
This is old though. This isn't showing this year at all. It actually ends May. So I don't have any data on this year. Let's take a look at this dashboard here, see if this is any better. This has some volume from this year as well, but not getting quite what I want to see here. One bill valuation. It's kind of crazy, raising 50 mil at one bill. Claiming to make over 100 million in 2025 in revenue. Polymarket odds give it a 29% chance of sustaining a $1 billion valuation after TGE. That's another thing I like about Polymarket. You can get like a very good judge of tokens and token sentiment via these markets. And like, these are not like rigid, this is what it's going to be, but it gives you an idea of like what people think about the project looking out. So over at Polymarket, 67% chance 67% chance to be over 500 mil, 38% chance to be over 700 mil, 25% chance to be over 1 bill. This is FDV 1 day after launch. Yeah, I mean, aggressive numbers, but crypto exchange, it seems like it has some sort of product market fit on Solana. We'll have to take a look and see what happens there over time. I'm probably not going to get any. I'm probably not going to be trading it, but something we will obviously cover. Seeing some comments in the YouTube roll in that Bitcoin is actively dumping. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, dumping at 1K since we started the show, getting ready to go under 68K. I kind of want to open like a longer term short here. I've never had success shorting though, but I really think that we are going to eventually.
I think we're going lower.
Go down to that 50K level. I think we're going to that 50K level, and I think that is going to be the cycle bottom. It's just a matter of like how much leverage. I don't want to get wicked out and have extreme volatility kind of push again. So maybe a couple more days to let this shake out, but I do think we are heading a bit lower. I don't want to sound pessimistic, but it just seems kind of like that, how that's going to play out with like the 4-year cycle and how it has played out previously. People are saying lower than 50K. People are saying 35K. I don't think we're going to 35K. I don't think we're hitting that level. I think that even 50K, like looking at the previous level of kind of like that'd be like the same pullback as last cycle from the top. I think even that's tough just because there's so much more of an institutional bid this cycle, where there's just a little bit more of a floor than we've had previously, and that people are bidding at above that level. So 50K is what I've targeted, but I wouldn't be surprised if we settle like a little bit higher, but I don't see us breaching below that. If we do, it would be some crazy narratives and like mass exodus on the institutional side. I am worried about, and I'll continue to say it, that I am worried about quantum threats, quantum narratives. Maybe not necessarily like quantum like breaches or things actually happening, but the narrative taking shape and taking hold to a point where Bitcoin dips in price based on just pure narrative speculation. But I do think quantum eventually gets solved. I think that there's too much money and too many smart people involved with Bitcoin to not let it get solved. But I do think narrative in the short term is going to play a part there. It's like
I don't really get the whole quantum thing. Like, I understand like the concern, but I'm like, I don't know.
I think like
I look at it and I'm like,
I mean, the narrative right now is like Bitcoin's hard to change.
yeah,
Other things are easier to change, easier for a bank to upgrade their quantum resistance, and like there are quantum resistant technologies out there, but it's harder for Bitcoin to implement, and also it's hard to do it in a way that's not like you have to opt in. So like wallets that are sitting around like Satoshi's wallets become vulnerable if Satoshi doesn't opt in, but you're assuming that those wallets like are no longer active. So
yeah,
that's like a concern, or like what's going to happen to those coins. They become like the equivalent of like the Titanic with treasure chests sunk to the bottom of the ocean, just waiting for divers to come and extract the coins and sell them on market. So like that's like
yeah,
bigger things is like there could be sell pressure, and like that could be just market bottom. Is like quantum threats. Satoshi's wallet moves something, God forbid, and like that marks market bottom. I think there's a lot of different things that could happen here. Small P Energy in the comments. I'm sorry, Ray. You have no idea what you're talking about.
thanks.
I generally don't have any idea what I'm talking about, Small P Energy. I am just the mouthpiece of the masses right now.
That's it. That's it. The mouthpiece of the masses. I like that. That's what it is. It ain't much, but it's honest work.
I don't think people are agreeing on a soft fork right now. Small P Energy. I don't think people are agreeing on anything. So that's kind of like where a lot of the problem starts. Ben Wong says the new resistant algos are quantum resistant, but sometimes can be cracked in a non-quantum way, not mature yet. Yeah, so I think there's just a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
And markets don't like unknowns; they like knowns.
No, they do not like unknowns. The market does not like unknowns at all.
It does not.
The market is not a fan of the unknown.
Speaking of unknowns, are there any unknowns that we haven't covered today, Easy, that you want to talk about before we wrap?
No, I'm just, vibing, living, surviving. Yeah. That's it. Just taking swings, clicking buttons, seeing where the day goes.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for listening. It's been a short episode. We'll catch you up tomorrow. We do this podcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms. Catch us on Spotify, Apple. Watch us back on YouTube. Watch us back on Zoro. See what we're talking about in real